What's a scheme you had that completely backfired? I went to high school with this girl named Taylor who was vicious as a snake. She was always spreading rumors about everyone and once bullied this younger kid so badly they had to switch schools. But people still hung out with her because she had this massive mansion, and her parents let her throw insane parties. I'm talking people literally swinging from chandeliers and jumping into the pool type parties. They were crazy. Not gonna lie, I loved them too, and I totally kept my mouth shut about Taylor being terrible just so I wouldn't get kicked off the guest list. One Wednesday before one of her legendary parties, she told me it was canceled. I asked what happened, and she said her dad found out about her D in chemistry and banned parties until her grades improved. I said that sucked, and she just laughed and said, "Don't worry, he's never going to bother us again." The way she said it gave me chills, but I didn't think much of it at the time. A few days later, I was in my room doing homework when my mother called my name, and I could tell from her voice something was seriously wrong. I went downstairs and she was just standing there pointing at the TV with her mouth hanging open. She said, "Isn't that your friend's dad?" And there on the screen was a picture of Taylor's dad along with footage of the FBI raiding their mansion. Apparently someone had called in a tip that her dad had huge amounts of cocaine hidden in the house. As soon as I saw that, I immediately felt suspicious because I'd met the guy several times, and he was definitely not the cocaine type. But Taylor, that was a different story. The next day at school, everyone was talking about it, and Taylor couldn't wait to brag to me that she'd planted the drugs herself and called in the tip. She was actually proud of it. I was completely shocked. Like, who does that to their own father? I didn't even know what to say to her. Turns out there was way more to the story than just the chemistry grade. She told me her dad had been controlling every aspect of her life for years, monitoring her phone, restricting who she could be friends with, and emotionally manipulating her. The chemistry grade was just the final straw for her. Still, framing him for drug possession seemed like an extreme reaction, but Taylor always did have a flair for the dramatic. She seemed to think this was some brilliant revenge plan. I don't know what she thought would happen, but her dad ended up getting sentenced to 10 years in prison. Her parents got divorced, and they lost the mansion and basically all their money paying for lawyers and everything. Taylor had to move into this tiny apartment, so she definitely wasn't throwing any more parties. Whenever anyone asked about it, she'd still say it was his fault for trying to control her, so she clearly never learned her lesson. But when she didn't have the huge mansion and wild parties, nobody had any reason to pretend to be her friend anymore. She started sitting alone at lunch and wearing the same dirty clothes all week. Taylor dropped out during senior year, and nobody's heard from her since then. I guess karma finally caught up with her, but it's still messed up what she did to her dad.